Cheerio, bonjour. I apologize for the film quality, maybe a little bit of the sound. I did buy a mic and a camera. I just haven't figured that out yet. Okay, so let's talk about the dentist. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, I don't want to make you guys sick. Hang on, let me put a pillow on my lap. Let's see if this is better. I'm in the living room, as you can see. See, we got that nice boat. That's a, up there, let me see if my mouse, up there, it's a replica of the boat Selden and his family spent a year on when they were kids. Okay. So you know me, I made my little cards. I'm just going to talk and go card by card. My first card. Wendi cosplayed being a Jew until her wedding day. Absolutely. So I've read this book. Epstein is the last name, and no, it's not Jeffrey Epstein, who didn't kill himself. Look, here's my little Bart. He's our Oh, Bart, no porn on the channel. Come on, man. Wendi and Danny. You guys know his name was Daniel E Markell. So he preferred to go by Danny because it has first and second name. Okay, that's cool. Wendi and Danny lived together prior to being married, and she played the whole kosher game. I looked up kosher. I didn't spend too many minutes on it, but apparently you cannot eat meat and dairy together. They must be served on separate plates. So pretend this is my kitchen cabinet right here. You have one side that has plates for meat and the other side that has plates for dairy or cheese. Apparently at Danny's wedding, the wedding was just getting ready to start, and he saw a cocktail cart go past that had liver and cheese on it. And he went right to the rabbi, and he was like, I think I saw this. And the rabbi already knew, and I'll tell you in a minute. And the rabbi just said, no. Your eyes fooled themselves. Because the rabbi didn't want Dan to be upset. Prior to the wedding, the rabbi had walked to the back to talk to the kosher supervisor. Look, I'm not mocking it. When I say it that way, I'm not mocking it whatsoever. But kosher people are, kosher Jews are very particular. They have a kosher supervisor in every situation. And the rabbi went back. He found out it wasn't kosher. He chose, not to tell Dan that it wasn't kosher until after the ceremony. Because the rabbi and many others at the wedding, they're not even allowed to be in the presence of non-kosher food. So it's not like, okay, so I just won't eat meat or I won't eat dairy. You're not even allowed to be in the presence of it. I have mixed emotions about that. I almost feel... Tell me what you think. Should the rabbi have told him? Man, I don't know. Half of me, more of me goes with the rabbi. Don't destroy this man's day. But the other, maybe 25%, 30% of me says, tell this man that you may be allowing this woman to perpetuate a lie. I mean, for real. Here's Bart. He's still here, so let's see Bart. Okay, there's Bart. Hi, Bart. We got Bart because his parents were being transferred overseas, and Bart would have had to been in, what's the word? Not decantation. What's the word? Isolation. That's not even what I'm trying to say. For 6 months to the country they were being transferred to. So his father was a veteran, so thank his father for his service. He has a new daddy and a new mommy now. Okay. Remember, guys, I write my notes and then I shuffle them up. So there's no specific order on this one. Do you guys know that Wendy's using the same attorney that Donald Trump is using? $1,500 an hour. Donald Trump and Wendi Adelson are currently this man's only 2 clients. He's doing well. Okay. So Dan was shot on Friday, July 18th. July 18th happened to be my brother's birthday. You guys know my brother won't speak to me anymore because I support America. I don't want to annoy anyone. But no, my brother, an insulin diabetic, he hates me because I liked Trump. Because I liked world peace, oil independence, and a good economy. I mean, before Biden, I was paying 99 cents for eggs, and now I think we're paying $4.50 for eggs. Okay. So, my point was, Dan died Friday, July 18th. Beginning August 1st, Wendi received $2,800 a month in Social Security benefits. Dan had a $2 million life insurance policy. His sister was the trustee. And legally, Wendi is able to go to the sister and say, I need my $2,400 a month rent paid. $2,400 rent a month paid, whatever. I need my electric bill paid. Dan stated specific things that his trust was allowed to pay. Oh my goodness. I'm all worked up. My heart is racing. I cannot believe the Adelsons did this. But part of the allowed dispenses from the trust were rent, utilities, a food allowance. And this woman's, she's living the high life. You know, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't have anyone murdered. But don't you feel guilty spending that money? Honestly, doesn't it bother your conscience? Okay. So I've told you I read the Epstein book about this. Not Jeffrey Epstein, who didn't kill himself. But in the book, they're talking about Katie McBanawa's sentencing, I think. And Ruth Markell gets to speak. And a sentence in the book, the author, states that Phil and his now ex-wife decided that she would make, the victim statement. Are they divorced? Oh my goodness. That surprises me. A lot of times, a baby will drown in a pool or hit by a car, and the parents do end up divorcing because of the anger they have. They're blaming each other, and that's normal. But I'm surprised. I almost want to find my own card. Okay, I am going to go to this subject. So, this book, Epstein, I do not have my phone. I want to find the exact name of the book. In the beginning, they're talking about, Wendi and Danny and all their families. The author makes a statement that Phil and, why can I not remember her name? Mrs. Markell. Phil and, oh my goodness. Were very busy in their careers. And their careers were the most important. So the children learned that most Saturdays and Sundays they would be dropped off at the library with a nanny. And then the parents would see them again at 6 p.m. And they attribute that to why Dan is so smart. Okay. You're building your careers and you can't take Saturday and Sunday off and give the nanny a day off so that you can actually parent. And I'm so sorry to say that. I see the pain in these people's eyes. But you put your kids with a nanny on Saturdays and Sundays? Let me know. Half of me wonders if, well, that's why they're so vocal. They're vocal because their child was murdered, and I get that. But what the hell? Your son is 7 years old, his sister is 10, and you send them to the library on the weekends with the nanny? Why not just parent? And I'm sorry, I was troubled. I was very troubled by that statement. Okay, Luis Rivera, you guys know who he was. He's 5'4". He was the king of he was a king in the Latin Kings. He was born, I'm going to do a whole video on this kid's upbringing, because when I listened to it, I was shocked. He was born into the gang. Most of us do not understand what a gang is like. I mean, seriously. But because the day he was born, he had an uncle who was a king in the Latin Kings, this kid automatically deserves a title. Be grateful you were not raised in a gang. But Luis Rivera is 5'4", and he will be released from prison, I believe, about 3 more years, 3.5. He spent most of the time in federal prison. Federal custody is completely different than state custody. Not that I know. There's a really beautiful girl named Christina who spent many years in Florida prison. She'll tell you all about it. Find her channel. Okay. Katie. Trash. Katie is trash. F. You listen to those wiretap calls. She's like, I'm effing having a great effing day. Women with class do not speak like that. There's nothing wrong with dropping the F-bomb. But this chick is just F. She shows up at her second trial wearing glasses. She's all demure. She's got a suit on. And then they play the tape where she's like, don't F with me. Hello? Tramp. Okay. Every time Dan applied for a new job, he made part of the requirement of his job that his wife would also receive a job. I do not remember the school. It started with an M, but it was in St. Louis, Missouri, and it was a top-ranked legal school. I mean, in the top 20. They offered him a job, and he said, Wendi also must get a job. They wrote him back, and they gave him an offer, and they said, tell us what you want. What did Dan do? He told them the earth and the stars. Way, way too much. And the school just replied, thank you, but we now will rescind our offer. And Dan wrote right back, no, look, I thought you were giving me a wish list. In school, they were offended. Then Dan got what's called a look and see offer at University of Miami. And we all know the Adelsons are in Miami. Well, they're in Coral Shores, which is 40 miles north, probably an hour and 15-minute drive. He went to Miami. He did his semester. And they wrote him back and said, thank you, no. Because Dan was rude. Apparently, in this book I've read many things. Dan wasn't, how do I say this? He wasn't really a nice person. If you disagreed with him, he would do everything he could to let you know that you were wrong. And rest in peace, good man. But he wasn't not a nice person. Maybe I'll put it this way. He was a little too passionate about the way he felt. It's like me starting to scream at someone who's vaccinated. I can't believe you took the vaccine. You guys know that I get paid to donate platelets to the Red Cross. And now the Red Cross is no longer accepting blood or platelet donations from people who are vaccinated. Creepy. That's why I skipped it. I'm not ever putting an untested drug into my body. Okay. Let's see if we can do this one. Charlie and mom relationship. Creepy. They spoke every day when he was in the Leon County Jail. And that I almost understand. But they spoke on average 4 times a day, every day, when his phone calls were being monitored. That's creepy. I talked to my dad every day, but I also wasn't trying to set up a murder. Okay. Bree, Charlie's baby mama. If you listen to the phone calls from, I think it's True Crime Alibis, it's a nice little southern woman. I think her name is Gigi. Cute little woman. She does all of these, she transcribes the phone calls. Bree is telling Charlie she cannot believe what has happened. And she calls Georgia, the prosecutor, a female dog. She's evil, evil, evil. Bree, the baby mama, had to sue Charlie, take him to court, demand DNA testing so that she could get child support. And now their child, Roman, is 5 years old, and she loves Charlie. Remember, she lived in Charlie's property for 1.5 years for free while he was sitting in jail. I'm sure the Adelsons gave her some resources. She needs to wake up. Okay, and my very last one. And how appropriate is this that it's the last one? What is Charlie doing now? Okay, well, where I live, Washington, D.C., it's 7:22. So he's 3 hours past dinner. Lights out at 9 o'clock. The screaming apparently doesn't ever stop. And in a mere 9 hours, they'll be serving breakfast. Well, at 4:30. But look at Charlie. He was banging women with no respect. 2 homes, both waterfront properties. He only had his boat on the one home. He owned a 32-foot... Shoot. I only know the name of it because we're boat people. Beautiful boat. I mean, had the below. He has none of that now. Now he has to pay for a toothbrush. Well, you have to pay for a toothbrush. Maria, Samantha, you also have to pay for toothbrushes. Unless you're in San Francisco, you can steal them because they don't prosecute anything under $1,000. But look at how this man's life has changed. Think about his mother. She's in the court that day, and the prosecutor states that we have proof Donna was trying to abscond. And you see, you can't hear her, but you go, she's screaming at her attorney. No, they didn't. But what Donna didn't realize is she had spoken on the phone with her son, didn't hit end call, and the prosecutors got that entire conversation. She's telling Harvey, we need to leave. Okay. You're still watching. Completely humbled. Thank you. I'm shocked. Hit like. Hit subscribe. I feel like I'm making some inroads with YouTube so I can get paid. Because I would like to make this more serious. But it's a lot of work. And it gets old if you're just doing it for free. Okay. God bless all of you. Oh my goodness. God bless this America. Toodaloo.